Hello and welcome to Old World Blues. We are starting off a brand new campaign in the old Fallout Hearts of Iron as the Troll Warren today. We recently just won a game as Communist Canada, and now we're going to be swapping over to the west coast to Cascadia. A beautiful, beautiful location. Lots to see, lots to do. We're going to be playing as the Troll Warren. These guys are a super mutant faction. The very first, the Tyrant of the Waste. Taller than fellow super mutants, his presence is so intimidating that the Oregon tribals believe him to be a god. Dropped in a pelt of Yao Guy, draped in a pelt of Yao Guy, and wearing the steel of a dead army, his very appearance speaks to the truth of his species' supremacy. His heart pumps like the valley's echoes. His veins are akin to engorged snakes slithering up the arms. Like his murky eyes, the ritual scars on his face tell the story of centuries of pain and conquest. He's believed to be basically the first of his kind, the quintessence of his kind, the children of the apocalypse. He is the only super mutant who has or will ever truly be their own master. So we start with this campaign. You start with a single province. You are very, very, very small at the beginning, but you have access to super mutants. You have access to giant behemoths. You have access to all sorts of fun, tough monsters, basically. And you get to grow out of this tiny little pocket right in here, surrounded by groups of different raiders, surrounded by a group of Mirelurks. To the south, as things start to expand onwards, we have the New California Republic to deal with. To the north, as things expand, we have to deal with the Washington Brotherhood of Steel. And to the east, I guess Heaven's Gate are the main people over here, though I don't know a lot about these groups. MacArthur is the Enclave. We'll see sort of which directions we expand in, which directions we go. Ario is down here, which is the basically the location of the first game, and the original Fallout character is there. So we're going to be kicking it off. We're going to see what it's all about. We're going to see how we do as we learn, and we hope for the best. We have reactivated the Fallout playlist today with Connell Rad ads and all. So chat, you'll have to let me know whether or not it is a good volume as we play around with it a little bit. I've managed to make a copyright-free playlist, so we're hoping for the best. Things we need to know about these guys before we get started. Technology level. Bad. We have no access to aircraft, no access to power armor, vehicles, or robots, and only basic levels for infantry, for support, for naval vessels, for industry. So we cannot go very high on any of the technology trees, which is really, really difficult for us. But we do have access to things like super mutant behemoths, which are very, very, very big and mean. I guess there's alternate versions of them as well. Oh, they can upgrade every year. We can get a different upgrade for them. And then the focus tree is pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. We have sort of the main quest line. And then we have a bit of an economy tree over here. We get to decide whether or not we want to allow humans into our empire and turn them into unpaid interns, or whether or not we just want to have super mutants and have all of our stuff run by super mutants. I think is probably the way we're going to do it. To the east, we get bonuses to things like our weaponry, extra weapons, our bonuses to our navy, and just generally sort of combat stuff. The central tree determines who actually runs the Troll Warren. If we want to switch to a different leader instead of the first, we could switch to Pittman, Bone Snarl, or Beatrice. And then I believe these are all about sort of the claims and war goals as we decide who we want to expand into and in what direction we want to go as the campaign goes on. Do you know if Old World, basically a Civ clone, keeps popping up in my recommendation because you play Total World? Oh, Old World, yeah, is very civilization based, but it has things like sort of the eras that we have in coming out in Civ 7 are more present in Old World. can be unlocked, though. I think some factions unlock higher techs. Some factions do unlock higher techs, not super mutants. We do get access to, I think, some better industry, maybe. But for the most part, we're quite limited. We do have behemoths, which look very, very funny. And we do, of course, have all of our super mutants as well. I think we also get access to Nightkin as time goes on. It sort of all depends on where we want to go and how we want to grow. So we'll start off by researching the first holotape. As we felt our minds slip away, the man who would become the first created several recordings to guide himself. The first of which was to remind him of his morals, what had made him the man he was, and what he had held closest to his heart. We will get some basic research off the top, because it's always kind of important to get some basic research off the top. Access to food and manpower, access to technology and research speed. And I always like to do at least one other thing. I think we're going to go for melee weapons. Probably in this campaign. But let's just go for a basic infantry training, warrior training, so we have that going. We're going to build some civilian factories in the Warren. We're going to build a civilian factory in the Warren so that we can build more stuff. And then maybe some infrastructure after that.
Sometimes they escape and I have to round them up again.
Oh, we're going to have some great lines from these guys. Nightkin would be a great option for special forces. They're insane, literally. You can get them. I know one of the other super mutant groups you can start at is somewhere down here. It's Tabitha from Black Mountain. Which, if you've ever played Fallout New Vegas, they have the Black Mountain radio station. And they are an all Nightkin group of super mutants. Best friend Tabitha, a leader in the faction. I believe, depending on where we go in the tree, best friend Tabitha is here somewhere. I might be wrong. I could have sworn there was something with them, though. Nightkin immigration we could get. I think there is something you can do to get her as a leader. So we do have behemoths. I am wondering whether or not we can train more divisions of these guys. They do count towards special forces, it does seem like. So I want to say, like, let's recruit one, and then we'll try to recruit some more super mutants as well, because that just seems like the right thing to be doing. None of our armies are really following anybody right now. We do have a handful of commanders. We have Beatrice, Pittman, Bone Snarl. They're all strong. One is slightly faster, one levels up quicker, and one is better at planning. And the commanding officer gets bonuses. The first gets bonuses to division defense and max entrenchment. Some of these Conrad ads are a bit wild, and I'm a bit worried I might have too many Conrad ads in this playlist, but we'll see how it goes. Let's put the first in charge of the main army. I think we'll break off the behemoth into his own pocket to, I'm just gonna say Beatrice because it's full attack.
Don't look at me.
And then we'll split these guys into two. So we'll have Pitman lead one, and we'll have Bone Snarl lead the other. This gives us at least a couple of different things we can do. I am very curious. We're gonna turn off all the holotapes. And I think let's disable backstory decisions, maybe. I'm never really sure what that one does too much. Maybe we will just leave that. So the goal of this campaign is going to be to form new Mariposa. The time of the Master's army is seen by many super mutants as a golden age for their people, a time to look back with nostalgia. With the old fortress of Mariposa and the Master themselves long gone, there is nothing to keep us from claiming to be the true heirs of that legacy if we control the original lands of the first super mutant army. This is the plot of Fallout 1. Alternatively, if our nation was to hold a suitable source of FEV, such as the vast within Vault 6, many would see that as a good enough claim outright. The South is where the Master failed. After all, perhaps better luck can be struck up north. So either we have to control all of the Washington Brotherhood's land or all of the NCR. All right, both of those are pretty tough. Those are pretty tough decisions. But good to know. Ain't gonna be straightforward. Most of this stuff we can just turn off for right now. We won't be doing most of those. Fallout Shelter, favorite Fallout game? I mean, it was actually surprisingly good, so. Quite an adventure, but nothing for big, strong, sterile super mutants. We're gonna have to find a way to get stronger and grow. Now, I want to say that these guys count. Oh yeah, here we go. Super mutant attack, 10%. This is the trait that everybody needs to take. No matter who the leader is, they're all going to get that trait.
So many staring eyes.
We might as well just set our divisions out on various front lines. It doesn't really matter too much right now. And I think we're good to cook. Get ourselves up and running. As we go through these first levels of the focus tree, we'll start getting our objectives and start kind of determining what we're able to do as we get a bit of the story of this campaign. Plus we get to jam. Seek out the wizard. Mobilization speed. Can get that for the beginning here. Your name is Andrew Shaw. You were born on April 24th, 2043. You have a family, 2 proud sons who you promised to protect, a wife who you must see again. It's why you became a soldier, Andrew, to protect them. You were raised in Portland. That is your home. When you're ready, you have to go back. You have to face what happened and find your legacy. They were in the vault, Andrew. Your children might have grandchildren or some other legacy. Find them, find yourself. You can't forget this, Andrew. You have to remember what matters, what you must do. Must protect our family. Must return home. Base stability. More manpower. Building slots. Ooh. Listen, we can always get more manpower. You can't really get more building slots. So I'm going to take that to start. Driven into deeper desperation by the growing mental instability, the violence he felt growing in his heart, the man that would become the first left a second recording, a guiding message for himself as he saw more and more people flocking to his impromptu abode. He was a soldier still. It was his duty and honor to protect these people, and he would be damned if he forgot that. I want to see what we have down here. So the rib breakers and the marrow drinkers are the first people we sort of get claims on. The rib breakers and the marrow drinkers. Do we get anything for the Carcass walkers? Because they seem like the obvious choice for us to go for it first. We have a place called the Feeding Grounds up here. I mean, Bone Dancers, Chemalt Station, Apostles, and Mirelurks. These are more complex ones down here. The Warren needs to be owned completely by us. I'm just wondering kind of what things we want to look at here. Belknap Springs needs to be owned by the Troll Warden. Elkhorn, Broken Top, and Camp Sherman. The Feeding Grounds. Belknap Springs, the feeding grounds. Okay. So I got a feeling we're probably going to need to justify a war goal against these guys. It's going to be a little bit expensive. So we're going to have to wait. No. Air Empire not for us? Oh, no. I had a great time playing it. We just hit a point that I said, this looks like a good look. I'm happy with it. Claims on if we don't go Warren manually, which might be a good idea to kill the Carcass walkers. Yeah, I think probably. I think probably we'll go after them early. Monster, you're becoming a monster. Even now, I can feel it in the back of my mind, the numbing sensation growing hard to focus. Even now, they're emerging from the woodworks, but few have survived the fall of the old world. Some drink the water, some bathe in it, desperate to become like you, to become powerful enough to survive. You must make something for them, something to protect them. A fortress, a city, an army. You don't know. Protect them. You are the first of our kind, and you must lead. I must build a city, an army, or a fortress. Workshops, that gives you both workshops and double outposts. This gives you 2 civilian workshops and water, or 2 arms workshops and manpower. I like the idea of the outpost, though. I'd be shocked if I ever was being attacked really in my capital. Getting early civilian workshops is always so nice. So it's very, very difficult not to turn down civvy workshops. City for the water, but manpower so valuable for super mutants, given they're typically sterile. They are very much sterile. The third recording was made long after the second, following an attack against the Warren by a number of proto-raiders, ghouls, and desperate souls. We learned a little bit more. Love the Billie Holiday. Oh man, this whole playlist is really, really nice. I've ran it through YouTube, so I'm really hoping that we don't get donked on anything. How many factories we have? We got 4 right now. Scavenging programs are extremely useful, so I'm just going to start it right away. We're going to spend our early bottle caps getting some nice scabs going. And yeah, I think our plan will probably be deal with the Carcass walkers first. And then, I don't know, probably east into the marrow drinkers. We weren't ready for them. They came in the night post guards. They overwhelmed the perimeter, killed your people. Not again. Don't let this happen again. Find the strongest amongst your people with guns and grit. 1-2 step like the old days, like the army. Teach them how to fight. Teach them to protect the Warren. Big brother shall guard the gate. We just played as big sister recently. Thunder shall rain from the walls of the Warren, or we shall strike with tooth and claw. Dude, I'm actually going to say big brother shall guard the gate. The stability is what we're lowest on right now. The Vitals holotape is busted thing, stolen from a passerby who fell victim to the Warren during a time of desperation, for the gravity of their situation and barren reproduction had settled in. All these fights are tough looking. You get... You're bad at attacking. You're the best at attacking. I don't know if behemoths count as super mutant attacks, or if they're an entirely different concept. But I think we're going to try it. And I am realizing, no, we're all well trained. So that's fantastic. The super mutants will slowly get stronger and stronger over time. Mutant instinct. Dum-dums. Children of the master. I love just the naming of everything in this game as well. They've done such a good job with it. We don't allow any normies into our armies. Nor any undesirables, but that'll probably change. We're conscripting cave trolls. Not training anybody. We are spending a lot of money on the army. Every cap for the army, but that's okay. And we're not trading with anybody. Interesting. I mean, we are super mutants. We don't have army wages. But that also means we don't really make money off of it either. And shockingly, chems are banned. Which feels like super mutants could probably use chems. If everyone isn't normal, doesn't that mean everyone is normal? I mean, I guess, yeah, that's true. Feed those cave trolls a good, healthy diet of hobbits. Oh, we're going to feed them everybody around us. Lots of raiders. Your people are starving. You cannot reproduce. You have little here. You must survive. You must take. Go and find what you need. Resources, slaves, warriors. Take what you need to survive. It's the way of the world now. Darwinism. Do you remember that? Survival of the fittest. Survival of the strongest. There are none stronger than you. Remember that. Believe in it, and you will survive. Your people will survive. 2,000 population in the Warren. For a couple different trade goods. Scrap metal or water. Now, we already boosted water, so I don't think we need any of that. We're doing okay on scrap metal, but also we need it to make more things like super mutants and super mutant behemoths. This is good to note. I didn't realize that these guys are just crafted in here. They count as tanks. I love it. That feels appropriate. Is there a way to see the population of my settlement? Oh, yeah, here we go. Civilian population is 27,000. So 2,000 is not really that much more. Take their people, their resources, or their warriors. I don't want their warriors or their people. I only want super mutants. We will take their resources. That is what we have decided. A decision to begin the search for the elusive wizard. Super mutant labor. Bonuses to land doctrines. An arms workshop in the Warren. That would be kind of nice. And that's all sort of the military stuff. Let's grab super mutant labor so that we can at least start getting some more production started. Hi, Mona. And I have a visit from the kitty cat who I think wants to say hello. Why we need to go smashing? We're running low. Huge lads, of course, they're tanks. Definitely some tanky energy. Here's a big problem is that because we're super mutants, we also seem to make very little political power. Compared to a lot of people, we're only making one a day. Hey, Mona. Are you a super mutant? You've got that super mutant energy about you? You are sleepy, that's for sure. Okay. You can go down. Big fluff. A big old floof. She's very happy to come in and say hello. So yeah, I guess we, it doesn't look like we really get a claim for the feeding grounds. I do wonder whether or not seeking out the wizard. The super mutants of the Warren are isolated people, yet none are more isolated than the wizard, an old age nightkin living atop a volcanic island in the middle of an FEV-filled crater lake. He would have ideas on how we could inspire hope in the super mutant remnants. Rib breakers and marrow drinkers. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll have to do a manual war declaration on Carcass walkers. It's gonna take a year. Okay, I actually don't think we need to do that then. In that amount of time, I could get a war declaration on marrow drinkers for way cheaper. And it's pretty likely that one of them will just attack the Carcass walkers and take them over. I just love the idea of a place called the Feeding Grounds. It feels like something we need. Maybe he doesn't want visitors sitting on this volcanic island. Didn't think this campaign would be fast, right? No. None of the campaigns are fast. Ooh, we have different marketplaces over here. Gunrunners, Chop Chop, Van Graffs, Butcher Pete's, and Vancouver Mavens. They are all effectively the same, just with different names, I guess, for the different areas. All right, Super Mutant Labor. Bunkers and outposts and defensive skills. Belknap Springs, owned by the Troll Warden. That's really the valuable one. So where is Belknap Springs? Am I blind? Belknap Springs, here it is. Okay. So we have to go through the rib breakers to get it. We've got a truce with the Washington Brotherhood. That adds bunkers and outposts, which is good for defense, but I don't really want to be defending. I'm super mutants. Attack and logistics. 20 units of 250 units of behemoths is added to the national stockpile. This is all military stuff over here. More DACA and better DACA. Mega metal mutants. Heavy melee weaponry. Powered melee weaponry. Ooh. Ooh. Or common ballistic weaponry. I mean, I feel like that's... Powered weapons or common weaponry. No way, dudes. Let's go full melee gongs. We're never going to hit sophisticated tech. Having a bunch of super mutants with power fists? That's definitely going to be the way to go there. Let's seek out the wizard. If we get the political power, then forming these war goals are not so unreasonable. We're going to start doing it right away. Carcass walkers might have a focus to attack us. This is true. This is true. Hard to say. Newton, hello. How we doing? And Warlocky, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. Come on in. Come on in. Okay, so we're still a little low on behemoths. But we're okay on like infantry and caravan equipment right now. Not by a lot. And I feel like these are we're gonna burn through all this stuff pretty quick. What is cool is we shouldn't actually need much in the way of supplies. Like in terms of production, we should be able to be pretty limited in what we actually build. Doing okay-ish? We're doing pretty good here, my dude. Having a nice little Tuesday. Let's speed this up a little bit since we're just pretty much chewing through stuff. Bone Snarl is a man of the people, Beatrice of the intellectuals, Pitman of the elites, and we are of the ruler. We're gonna stick with us. We are the first, the greatest, the truest super mutant. We hit the follow goal? Oh, that's exciting. I love how it just doesn't show me any of that on my end. Break out the riot supplies. Bust about.
Shit, I'm waiting.
I guess I'm gonna maybe call this guy Behemoth. As we figure out what to name our armies over time. Unlock a decision to begin the search for the elusive wizard. Oh, we can't even do most of this until we advance into the wizard. So we'll get memories of the age. We will seek out the wizard. The wizard's an elusive figure, hiding shortly after his mutation under the Master's army decades ago. He now hides in his little alcove, having grown senile with old age and as his strength wastes away. Days and nights spent reading tomes of old world legends. Perhaps he might know something useful to help the Warren out of the recent troubles they've been in. And we could pick up a warmonger here. Justify war goal time minus 10%. But political power gain plus 10 is kind of, to me, is the first thing you got to get. We're going to hire Mother. One of the very first few ever dunked into the Warren. She has grew to be almost match his stature. Her mental faculty remains steadfast with her, and she cares for the Warren and looks after them. Bone Snarl and Betty often talk with her to speak about issues and seek guidance. The mother of the Warren. It is big Unga Bunga time. 24-hour Mona stream? Oh my god. It would be a mostly I'm just sleeping stream. But probably would be okay. Northeast California burns. Vangraff mercenaries and she settlers along the coastal city of Fusang have left a bunch dead. The NCR is being challenged. Potentially quite good. If the NCR breaks down, we could always swoop in. We are ready to start sending out manual prospectors, which is fantastic. Because we can get really good loot from that.
Don't look at me.
Excellent. And we are starting to get our army divisions up and running. Memories of the ages. Guardians of the Wild, Warriors of the Wild, defense and planning, attack and logistics. I feel like a super mutants attacking is what we want to do the most. It's the duty of our people to go forth and crush our foes, wherever they may be, wherever they may stand. They shall know that the mutant warriors of the wild places came for their homes, their livelihoods, their freedoms. Let all fall before the Warren. We've learned how to do some agriculture. And honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go for scavenge tools here because we don't ever get intermediate stuff. We're not gonna be creating tools. We're gonna have to be scavenging for them. So the old super mutant army is gonna grow deep in this toxic fog over the wasteland. That's just constantly spilling into our territory. All right, we do have a handful more stuff here. So what do we want to look at? Construction speeds, efficiency caps. Efficiency caps are very good for us since we're never going to stop making super mutant behemoths, for example. Something to consider. War support as well, obviously. I don't know who we're going to end up getting in here. I guess this depends on what faction tree we go down with the wizard stuff. We don't really get any pre-war designs. We are going to need melee weapons. This is going to be a big one for us. So this will give us breakthrough and reliability on all of our infantry equipment. It's not a bad idea, seeing as we're definitely going with infantry equipment. I love that, like, we can have aircraft companies when we can't have aircraft. We do have some military high commands here as well. Recruitable population. Breakthrough, heart attack, soft attack. This guy's pretty good. Hunter of the Warren. I'm just kind of trying to debate what we want to actually put stuff on for the early game. And like, we're not going to need to justify for the most part outside of this first fight. I'm going to take Mean Greed, Built Tough, just to get us that little extra cap. Aircraft factories trapping down a human and throwing them into the air. It's a ground-to-ground missile attack. Now, one fun thing is if we do take over NCR, we could get access to nuclear weapons. There's not many nuclear weapons available. I think 3? I think NCR has one. This guy has one. And somebody else has one. Probably a Brotherhood member. This is not going to be ready until the 22nd of December. So we're going to have to be patient. We are going to take outsider warfare. So picking up a guy who's good at that would make good for terrorists. This would also get us army experience every day. So actually, let's unlock him right now. And then I guess we'll take... Call the Horde, call the Giants. We'll get the research bonus for land doctrine as we work our way towards that. 14 more days, we'll have the wizard. And we'll get prepped to start doing some wars. We actually have enough super mutants that I could probably recruit a second group. I'm a little bit short on equipment, but that'll fix up pretty quick. We make 2 super mutants a month. And we need like 100 for our army. Sailing along the FEV dumping grounds around Crater Lake, the first made their way to meet the mythical wizard, the hermit. More than any other mutant, the wizard was tough to get many answers from. When the first asked him how he might bring about a new age for the super mutants, the wizard simply responded with one word: North. Well, I guess that answers that question. That answers that question real fast.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again. Huh?
So you're going to go straight to the feeding grounds. We'll have these guys go that way, and then I guess these guys can just go that way. Doesn't really have to be too fancy. We are super mutants. The solution is Canada. Who would have guessed? We pick up our basic warrior training. I don't know if we can have spec ops. Like, I don't know whether or not Knight can use the spec ops equipment. So I am like hesitant to put any tech into it. Oh, cool. Instead of getting dogs, we get floaters, centaurs, and armed centaurs. Now, I don't think we can actually get most of them, but I like that it's there. We're going to start putting one person on those researches. We'll wait until the plan is all the way up and running. I should have had this guy exercising and I forgot. But you know what? We'll learn through combat. The solution's always Canada. Ain't that the truth?
Don't look at me.
I should have known, man. I should have known that that was going to give me a war goal. I don't think we get any of that political power back that we lost, which is a bit of a crying shame. We have to fulfill the wizard's task to be able to move any further up. Uh-oh. I don't need canoes. I guess having a bunch of extra infantry equipment would not be bad, considering we're a little bit low on it right now. There's our bonus to research speed. Let's think. Max factories in a state or factory output. In terms of what we can actually make. I think we're going to go specialized production.
Sometimes they escape.
I ain't so sure it's going to matter. Now let's go to war. Let's go to war. Confusingly, it is saying that all of the enemies are stronger than us.
Don't look at me.
But I don't know that that's true. I really don't think it is. Because we're super mutants. Vault City has experienced a shakeup in leadership, becoming democratic. I guess overthrowing the overseers. Curious.
Got you now.
I think you guys can go straight for feeding grounds, honestly.
Got you now.
I appreciate that we're like helping out here, but I just don't really think it's even needed. I'm pretty sure if we take feeding grounds, we just instantly will break their entire army and they'll capitulate. If not, Carcass waste it is. Everybody straight in. No time like the present. The super mutant way. Handful of propaganda stuff here we can do. Weekly war support in exchange for things like stability. I don't really think we need to be or want to be doing any of that. Encourage weapon production is not the worst, but it only gives you an arms workshop for like 100 days. I am going to spend some of our caps investing in small business, though, just so we can build stuff up faster. And our scavengers have returned. They failed to find something, but pretty much just wasted their time. They didn't really lose anything, didn't really gain anything. And we will finish these dudes off. Focus that gives us Nightkins. Maybe it's worth just putting one tech into Spec Ops. I mean, absolutely, if we can. I'm going to take all these demands. And we gonna annex.
What? Huh?
This Mona cat right now is really wanting more attention. I want to try to go for rib breakers, I think, first, just because Belknap gives us ready for war. 2 extra arms workshops for free. Eichhorn, Broken Tap, and Camp Sherman. None of those are up here. I don't know where those locations are. Camp Sherman is here. Okay. I guess we'll learn as we keep going. The plan is definitely going to be to move into these guys next, though, so. Bonuses to attack, defense, planning, and logistics. I'm going to spend... Do I want to spend this right away? No, probably not. Probably right away what we want to do is we want to fix the combat width of this army. And put more super mutants into it. This will give us a 20 width division. Normally, I would not recommend just saving this flat out, especially when you don't have the infantry equipment to do it, but I'm just going to do it because we're in between wars and we have like some time, I think, right now. Feeding grounds are now open. Meat is back on the menu. What are you doing? You want my water, do you? It's my water. I'm going to drink it. This cat is really like, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. I want pets. Me, 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 me. It took some courage to convince the super mutants of the Warren to leave their cave, venturing out into the lands of the exiles in the far north, the Carcass wastes, as the smoothskins called them, littered with bones and the remnants of an old world dried dead by radiation. It's here in the desolate land that the first finally realized what the wizard's true lesson to him was. The first answer of how to fix the plight of the super mutants wasn't literally the north, but it's merely where he would find the answer. The path of the super mutants is one of conquest. Why should the Warren hide in their caves when 100 years ago the super mutants were poised to hold this world by its throat? He convinced the super mutants to attack this place. Why not the rest of Oregon? Soon the first would return to the Warren, his heart beating like a drum as he searched for a war chief to bring along with him. Perhaps a good few arena bouts with some of the recent arrivals to the caves would reveal one who was worthy. Nice. Oh, wow. We instantly core all that territory as well. Fantastic. Get that super mutant attack bonus on you, on you. I think you have it already. Not yet. You do now. We've picked up Tribal DACA. And we're going to go with that powered melee weapons, but I think let's like hold a moment. There's no reason why any of the fools should have the title of War Chief. The warband should all heed the word of the first straight from within the depths of the Warren. The first can instruct the other leaders how to fight better, teach them where they might falter, and how they can succeed. Mobilization, daily compliance gain. Hitman can become a war chief. He leads Nightkin warriors. Bone Snarl is just like a strong grunt. And Beatrice is the intelligent one. The closest there's ever been a loss on behalf of the first. The word of the Warren. The stories of Beatrice might spread. planning skill, attack skill, logistics skill, daily compliance, and mobilization speed. Oh, and they all get like +1. So I guess the question becomes like, do I want all of my super mutants in one army or multiple armies? And probably I want them in multiple armies. It would be nice to have them all in one at the start. But eventually I'm going to need all of them running. So we're going to go with the first above all. No rebellion, only smashing. Play another personality cult leader vibe again. I mean, it feels like it's the right choice. Then the Warren stirs, and we could pick up tender ribs. I do want those arms workshops. We'll probably go for them next. Just because it would help to have some extra weaponry in these fights. Never really a terrible idea. This guy is such a good bonus. I'm just going to take him right away. Just big flat buffs to the entire super mutant army. I love that they're not even, I put all of them on this line and they're not even defending this location down here. They're like, nah, that's a hill. Nobody's breaking through that. We'll get there before they do. Big sister obsessed with blimps. The first can be obsessed with behemoths. I mean, they're pretty good. I definitely want more of them. One more gets me a combat width of 20. I don't quite have enough behemoths, but I can tell you what, we can do it and we'll keep making them in the meantime. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. We'll go for these arms workshops and then we'll go for war with these guys.
Huh?
And I want to say that, like, I'm probably gonna spearhead the behemoth straight to Salem. Let's make sure our troops are also trained up because we've got a couple of rookies in here right now. Some bonuses with Chop Shop as well is going to be really useful for us. And then I kind of want to just push my offensive line sort of like just to here. Like, I'm thinking cut their territory in half. Yeah, we can buy bicycles from Chop Shop, which is really nice. Because we can use those for scavenging. And we'll need the rest of our stuff just to supply everybody. So, all right. Decent setup. All the bees. This crosses out NCR playthrough because we won't have NCR Rangers. Oh, NCR is mopping up that little rebellion, it looks like. What's really nice right now is they don't have any armies on these borders. I don't know if that'll change when I start the focus, but it's possible I will get a surprise attack and be able to move in really fast. Lots of bonus infantry equipment here. I do want to make sure that, what is it here? Reinforcements, supply trucks, and garrisons are top priority, so that our armies always exist before training stuff. And then I can work on more behemoths, because the NCR is victorious. The NCR has once again emerged as an undisputed controller of the Navajo territories that were up there. So yeah, they're they're gonna smash through everybody, I think.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again. Huh?
Couple more divisions for us here, which is nice. Keep them in training. We're hurting a little bit on manpower, but I think it's okay.
So many staring eyes.
I would like to make sure that we assign any extra stuff we need through here. So like breakthrough 10% is going to be really valuable. Division attack is not a terrible idea. Just a flat 5%. Duels and infantry. Oh, behemoth attack 10%. So behemoths do count as something different. Nightkin are under ninja. Oh, I do wonder whether or not behemoths have any low ranking bonuses here. Super mutant infantry units defense. That's another good one we could get for everybody. Nightkin attack. Okay, so if we make one group for Nightkin, probably this guy, Pittman, because I think he is a Nightkin. Nightkin attack defense 5 and 5. Nightkin attack 5 and 5 and reinforce rate. I mean, that's all valuable. I think that's going to be what we plan. And you're just for behemoths, so I want to honestly kind of say like reconnaissance and chance to get wounded, maybe. Because I'm not sure that anything else is really going to matter that much. Sounds like a ghoul singing. Most of these songs quite interesting. Some of them are pretty weird. Is this mod fun? Jokum, it is very fun. I think it is funnier than the base game. At least at the moment. I'm still learning though, so... Do you need DLC for this mod? None of them, no. In fact, the only ones that really do anything, the one that adds intelligence agencies does add some stuff, which is helpful, but not a ton. And I guess the one that adds naval modules technically exists. But almost nobody uses Navy because it's mostly landlocked countries. The Navy is really, really limited. Anything I can do to preserve the troops you have seems really powerful. Yes, yeah. I mean, manpower is always the big... It seems like no matter who you play as, manpower is the big kicking point in this game. So much so that I'm actually thinking... I'm probably going to stop making additional mutant armies. Or I'm only going to make like one additional mutant army at a time. Just to make sure that we have enough. Healer of the Warren, recruitable population factor. Civilian factory construction speed is also really valuable early game, so I'm going to take that. All right, we've stockpiled our weapons. Oh, that's a really good bonus. 2 civ workshops and an arms workshop. That's caps, that's that. That's for every owned core state in Oregon. So I'm going to want that later. But this one is really valuable for right now. So we're going to get one last piece here. And I think I'm going to put that one extra workshop just on support equipment. Even though we're not using it right now, I will eventually give all my super mutants chems. So it ain't a bad idea. Man the guns is for the naval designer. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wait until the other half of the continent. I mean, so you can, there is actually a mod pack. There's a bunch of different mod packs you can take. That will add in all the other territories, but most of them are generic factions, which isn't like terrible, but there's very few that actually have full focus trees. Interesting. So the followers of the apocalypse show up. These guys you can have to help out with things, but we get it seems to be a unique option that just says like they can't do that. Shoot them. Our people are so violent, we can simply scare away the followers from even approaching our lands. I'm going to do that. I never see that before. I think that probably only works for mutant companies. All right, so you guys are up to 20 combat with. You're up to 20 combat with. I feel very good about that. Militia force is not really needed for anything right now. Star Wars reference? They can't do that. Shoot them. Kimball has been removed from office of the NCR. Happy to see it. All right, we do this, then we have 2 focus trees. We got some new places getting booted up. Down in the old Warren. I think my biggest worry is that someone is just going to sneak in behind because the Warren is so close to the front lines, but we should get some warning if that happens. Kimball's lies have been discovered. Removed from office. What a bizarre world. Now how is this courier going to shoot his head, not shoot his head? It's a good question. We got some curiousness. I'm gonna take bold attack. I'm a little surprised by how aggro we're going, but it does sort of make sense. Capital state owned and controlled. 1 infrastructure. For each level of infrastructure in our capital adds production. Okay, so yeah. This is like you build up and then you take these way later down the line. The Warren stirs. Weekly manpower plus 20, daily ruler support. And then we get a war goal on the rib breakers in a moment. I'm going to set our extra military factory to super mutants. And we'll see where we go from there. Our research is so slow. Minus 40. Minus 48, sorry. Brutal. Whoa. Washington Brotherhood has been wiped out already. This never happens. They just lost Capitol Hill. This is actually amazing. So we're going north. Our goal is going to be to go north. If we take Capitol Hill, we get access to a full vat of FEV. And we can make our own super mutants. House must be fuming in New Vegas. I needed that dunderhead president. This is crazy. I've literally never seen the Brotherhood lose against Olympus Tribe. They normally wipe them out in the first couple of days, basically. Who is the cause? Dan. A round table of Epsilon. Homie's getting wiped out by just the most basic characters. I mean, they're not done yet, but I got a feeling they probably got encircled and lost all their power armor, which is pretty bad. So we're going for the rib breakers here. Tender ribs. Supply consumption, recruitable population, healer of the worn. Born in the cold has completed the focus winter tactics, and Washington Brotherhood exists. Icejaw is a super mutant, once Brotherhood scout who was tortured by the Washington Brotherhood after trying to rejoin them post-mutation. Oh man, he'd be really useful, but I guess the Brotherhood is probably about to get wiped out, so... And winter tactics are... Which one is winter tactics? Plains, desert, hills, mountains. I am not honestly sure which one counts as winter tactics. Sadly, there's no mutant tree. It's being added in the next update. But the cause is a group of revolutionaries fighting first against the oppressive regime of the Brotherhood of Steel and then Imperial China, I guess. Okay. Winter tactics is a national focus. Oh, well, we're way away from that. Ain't happening no time soon. I don't know that I need 5% stability right now. It would kind of be bad. Production cap. Resource gain, efficiency, and factory output. Fist Knight person. I'll take them. Winter focus. Thinking about buying season pass 1 when you get paid? I mean, here's one of the big things is if you're like just starting off in Hearts of Iron, you can always just get the $10 subscription because all of the DLC is like you can pay that subscription for a couple of years and not have enough money to be able to afford the full subscription. To be able to afford all the DLC, sorry. Man, I'm just like flying through political power all of a sudden, it feels like. All right, let's get that healer. And I think I'm going to knock that guy off and we're going to go down to 1 just because I'd like to have a little bit more manpower on hand. About 4 and 4. Does this guy not have a plan? 4 divisions. I feel like he doesn't. How do you attack from that direction? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, he's really glitching out here for whatever reason. Maybe it's just because he's in training mode that he's not working okay. Sylvie. Keep an eye on this. We'll just end training before it gets too close. Getting our first bonuses here. We have unstoppable charges. And our scavengers have found bonuses to electronics technology. That's great. Can we buy bikes? 24,000. Yikes. Oh, yeah, we do not make a lot of caps. We don't make a lot of caps at all. These guys are suddenly doing a staff office plan. Which has got me a little bit worried. They obviously know what's up. I guess they figured out what my focus tree was doing. So, yeah, we'll pick up the Bane of Man, I guess, for now then. It'll give us some decent attack bonuses. And we might as well go straight to war. Now, I think what I probably want to do here is actually try to surround a few of these dweebs. Where we can.
Now you die.
This guy can actually also move up in. We'll pin those guys down. Maybe we won't pin those guys down. You know what? It's fine. They're just fighting each other out.
Don't look at me.
I'm thinking I just use this behemoth right now and just surround a couple of these guys. Lock them into these hills. I think this is all hill territory, he says. Hills, hills, hills. Hills, 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 desert. Oh, wow, okay.
Head voice.
Not the nicest place. I don't want to be stuck in a war with these guys forever, but I figure cutting them off is probably the way to go. I don't know where that guy even came from just then, but as long as the behemoth is smashing, he's doing really good on level ups as well.
Head voice.
Nice. And we got another division coming in here too. So that's their supply.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again. Sometimes they escape.
And I think what I want to do is I just want to pin these guys right now, probably. Actually, I don't know if I... Yeah, we'll pin that guy, I guess. Get that tasty surround in place. He holds there, and then the behemoth just deals with the rest. Honestly, you can probably go like that.
Stop waiting.
This feels like the right way to do this. I don't need these guys attacking anymore. I have achieved my objective of locking these guys all in place, so... as long as we don't lose any of these back points, which should be fine because we have more super mutants coming in here right now. We scavenged some tools. Is there any support equipment we can start getting? The answer to that is actually yes. So I'm going to go with early chems because they're so good. Returned in time for the super mutant wog. We're crumping the rib breakers. Gotta do some rib breaking. Get those delicious baby back ribs. You can help with them. You're helping there. You're helping there. Take this in little baby points, right? If I get to wipe out a couple of divisions early on, suddenly they're going to have a lot less people to hold the line, and I should be able to just keep punching through. Here we go. Love to see it. The Bane of Man gives us some more division attack and planning speed. Realm of the Goliath gives us basically even more of all of this, so we might as well. Big monster. Yeah, our super mutant behemoths. They're chunky boys. All of you guys can help with this fight. Those guys can help assist with that fight. I don't really know if I need to be doing that, but that's gonna be what we do.
Got you now.
Okay, I gotta cut that guy off. He's gonna get into this territory otherwise. I'll have the super mutant just try to help these guys. I really hope we don't lose that little territory. I probably should have been a little bit smarter in that adjustment, but whatever. It's fine. Help crush these dweebs instead. Land doctrines are available, so I don't know that literally any of these give me bonuses. The doctrine schools will, but everything else is kind of less necessary. I can't unlock any of these guys. Wow, we do not have a lot of use for PP. We'll pick up the melee weapons manufacturer. This gives us more breakthrough. So we take less damage when we attack. It's basically offensive armor. The town of Salem? Yes. Well, no. I mean, there is a town of Salem over here, but it's not Salem, Massachusetts. Which I reckon is what you're thinking of when you think of Salem. Guys, all go up this way. I'm going to try to do the exact same thing again here, pretty much. Except I'll send a guy straight to Salem. It's so funny, the behemoth just like kicking his feet out. Hey, look at this. We're actually building stuff. Get a little more infrastructure here going. And then maybe another Civ workshop. I don't know that I need to be building arms workshops yet. I feel like we have sort of most of the stuff that we need. Obviously, we could be making more super mutant behemoths. You want them. You help them. Nice. Good, good, good. These guys are all holding nice. I'm going to move one of those guys up here because we're going to keep pushing into this territory now. I'm not really sure if I have enough troops to actually do this encirclement properly. I feel like I don't. But we're going to find out.
So many staring eyes. Sometimes they escape and I have to.
The behemoth is leading the charge into Salem. You know what? We have like just enough super mutants to do this. You don't need to do anything anymore. You could pin... never mind. Literally have just enough people.
So many staring eyes.
Christopher Wright secures power in New Reno. Reno, clean it up its act.
Shit, I'm waiting.
We're going to take another capital here. Honestly, we might just be able to crush out their capital points.
Shit, I'm waiting.
You can attack. You can attack. You can support. You can support.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
You can support.
So many staring eyes.
You got to keep coming in here. See how our big bad behemoth does. This guy actually feels like maybe he could just start grabbing more random territory here. Like maybe even move up to dodge.
Huh?
You can do a little assist on that front.
You're mine. Got you now.
And then these guys are donezo.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
Absolutely donezoed.
That's you.
We got the Realm of the Goliath. I am actually going to hold off for 1 second here. Because I feel like if we can manage to take this city or this city, we win.
I'll kill you.
That guy can probably just move up
Head voice. That's you.
this way.
Huh? Head voice.
What is the plan here? Super mutants? I got to pick a national focus soon. I'm running a little bit out of time here. There we go. Gobble it all up. And we good. Voice in her head says we should burn the Puritans. Can we eat the Puritans? I mean, I feel like that's more of our jam. Now we can just take this focus, which we'll have a couple days head start on, and we'll automatically core all this stuff. So I believe the marrow drinkers are next. I think I'm just going to do a full division, full front line, ready to party. And you're working on healing powder. You're working on mutations. We could give dynamite to our super mutants. Is not the worst idea. I like the idea of also being able to have floater armies. Dynamite would be really nice though, because it does provide a lot of extra breakthroughs. So we'll go with that. Monstrous horrors beyond comprehension. Resistance decay speed, resistance growth, garrison penalties, damage to garrisons. That's the unique one for us. And I guess mean green fighting machines is probably our other unique one. Division attack 5, division attrition -5. I'll take that right away. Leave us a little bit of experience left over, but Why do we got to break the witches' ribs? Why can't we target the Puritans instead? Won't find any witches in Salem, Massachusetts anymore, either because they burned them all, or perhaps they were never there to begin with. Jury's out. Jury's still a little bit out on that one. No, we have nobody, man. We produce 0.2 behemoths a day. We're going to need a lot more of those bad boys. They're going to be the bulk of our army. New Puritan, the endlessly stressing on religious purity makes the meat too tense. Smoke them slowly. Tension needs to be eased out. Keep the curtains behind closed if local police had monsters beyond comprehension. Definitely create some dangerous questions. So who is who? You're the behemoths, so shouldn't you not be going here? I feel like I just want to spearhead you across Camp Sisters.
Shit, I'm waiting.
You guys offensive line there, and then you guys offensive line in here. And that's sort of my plan. My very loosey-goosey plan.
So many staring eyes. Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
I don't know whether or not that line will continue to grow, and that's kind of my worry on this. I've never really used a whole army group as a front line before, so I'm curious to see how this will work. Okay, so we have the Smiths. I could take 10% soft equipment. Bonuses to ballistic weapons, which honestly we're not going to be using. Demolition equipment we will. It makes demolitions better at attacking, worse at defense. Medical tech we're also going to be using pretty much on everybody. Bonuses to construction speed for all the factories. I mean... I like the idea of a super mutant company just called Docs. That also gives me monthly population. I'm going to take that. There's breaking our ribs. So we can, in Salem, build double arms workshop and an outpost. Or I could just go straight for the marrow drinkers right now. And I'm kind of feeling like that's the plan. Because we actually have quite a bit of manpower, and I'm feeling good with the army right now. We'll throw ourselves back into training just to get these recruits up, ready to go. Wonder where the poor Twitch employee tasked with reviewing agents' chat must think. Some of the properly random topics. Listen, man, if you're not burning witches in your chat, what are you doing? We're just asking the questions. How do I know how much victory points are on a map? Is there a victory point map mode? There's a great question. I don't think so. Our scavengers found something. Ooh, Poseidon Energy schematics. What a useless pre-war technology. Actually, not a useless pre-war technology. Bonuses to power stations will be useful later on, I think. I don't know what we're using energy cells for, but apparently we are using energy cells for something.
Sit up waiting. So many staring eyes.
I actually have no idea. Slow cooked pulled Puritan served with iced tea or a nice punch around Christmas time. Could see that working. Be a delicious little treat.
Sometimes they escape and I have to round them up again.
Now, have we researched chems? No, we're still working on it. I was like, are we ready for chems? No. I'm also trying to think, like, will Special Forces Doctrine affect Nightkin? What are you doing, Behemoth? I want you here. Oh, I see. This moved. Oh, God, what have I done?
So many staring eyes.
Not that. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, God. You guys go down here. No, I've completely crisscross applesauced my entire army division. But you know what? It kind of works. I'm okay with it. If they both push in that direction and the Behemoth crosses the middle. Potentially gives more encapsulation. This mod's so good, isn't it just delicious? I thoroughly enjoy it. Manpower and army experience or behemoths and army experience? Well, we probably know the answer to that. Oh, I can take this. 2 arms workshops up in Belknap Springs. Definitely, let's go for that. There are a fair number of these dweebs. I gotta wait for them to get into position. Because of the way I screwed this up. You know what? I'm gonna re-edit it. Click to swap the armies along the front line. No, I want you guys to swap with these guys. Yeah, okay, I actually understand how this thing works now. And then you guys swap in there. What I just don't understand is why is 5 divisions gathering on this small territory? Oh, because I guess that's where the Warren is. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's just like less stuff there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. That's what I originally wanted this to be.
Don't look at me.
Everybody stop training and get into position for the love of God. What a mess. What an absolute monster of a mess. Haven't disavowed Puritan eating. At some point I calculated Troll Warren could have the strongest regiment in the game, but it took jumping through some severe hoops. I mean, it does feel like having a whole bunch of behemoths will probably beat any other army.
Huh? What?
Guys, get into position. This is nonsense. No prospectors? We just sent out some prospectors. I don't know what you're talking about. Almost there. I have to wait for them all to plan. But I'm not going to be attacking with most of the divisions until the behemoth has moved in, so if they have a little extra time, it's not going to kill me. And this surprise attack really didn't go ahead so well. All right, lads. Are you not getting your planning bonus right now? Here you are. It's just so slow. 2.4 a day. Wow, even the entrenchment is like quite slow too. All right, that's good enough. Ooh. Of course, these guys have been planning and waiting, preparing to attack me, so you can't go that way. So let's have you attack you. You're gonna go like that as well. Yeah, no, they win for like a second, and then their planning bonus wears out. My behemoth will smash.
Head voice.
Perhaps I should just smash in all my armies here. Oh, we did just get the healing powder, which is really nice. I am tempted to get these dogs just because they'd be another type of army we could have. But I guess I'm also thinking about Nightkin and Spec Ops. And I wonder whether or not that'll fill out. We only have 79 support equipment, which was sort of one of the thoughts I had, which means like if I decide to throw that in here, I need 165. So we could make an advanced version of that. I'm also wondering about like chems on these guys. It honestly would give them bonuses to radioactive wastes, which is kind of funny. I'd for sure have enough to do this. I lose like quite a bit of armor. But we get some more HP. I'm wondering whether or not it's valuable on them, I guess. Because they're this weird monster unit. I feel like it probably is going to be. Somehow this guy has managed to punch through when my behemoth could not. And these guys are all failing on this side as well. All right, well, you can punch there. There's my behemoth. We got a couple of extra arms workshops over in this way, and none of that stuff we can take. None of that stuff we can take. You know what? Let's grab Call of the Giants. We'll start unlocking a few extra behemoths. I'm gonna have to start making things like dynamite soon. So right now, I think I'm just gonna put an extra factory on support equipment temporarily, so we can get some chems going. Does equipment have a behemoth division need like fire hydrants? I mean, they do need infantry weapons. I guess that's the big one. Yeah, see, this is exactly the shenanigans that I was worried about. because of the way that the army group is designed, they don't overlap in an army group. So while this behemoth is pushing through, these guys are actually not
So many staring eyes.
joining in with them. And I need these lines to overlap. So I'm going to delete the army group here. It's going to kill all my planning bonuses. That is frustrating. I'm going to leave these guys just to defend Troll Warren's side.
Fire!
Those guys will move in with that section. And then these guys kind of move in this way. So I am still going to try to... I want you to attack from a different direction than that, but you know what? We could just go to there, and then that would encapsulate. That would work for me.
So many staring eyes.
They're on a flat line that way, and then these guys sort of move in like... I guess like that.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again. You're mine.
That guy is actually just meant to be assisting on that front.
Huh?
I'm a bit worried because we're already opening up on this side. And I'm wondering if there's sort of like alternative plans I could make here for this. I think I just need more mutants. Ultimately, at the end of the day. I need more troops to be able to cover these lines. So something like dogs or floaters, in our case, would be kind of valuable.
Head voice. That you.
If you guys attacked in there, you could certainly support.
Shit, I'm waiting.
And I'd be okay with you going that way. This is a bit of a meat grinder at the moment. And we're actually taking penalties for fighting in the desert, which I didn't realize. But that's okay. The behemoth is doing exactly what he is meant to do.
So many staring eyes.
Whether or not we can kind of pin these guys off is a whole other question. Obviously, I don't have the right amount of troops to be doing this. But we're gonna try. Can make a little bit of distance up there. It'll be good. The She is down in NCR. It's gotten a new leader. Nice. That does make the encirclement a success. Temporarily, I'm a bit worried about what's about to happen to my behemoth, though. I'm gonna drag that over. Trying to cover too much territory at once. Actually, you know what? I guess that could technically be all of that. And these guys should really be all on there. Yeah, I don't know what my plan is with that. She's a bit of a mess. Oh, my behemoth got pinned. So they are going to cut him off here outside of Camp Sisters. That's dangerous. That is dangerously bad. He is now out of supply.
Got you now.
I need to do everything I can to breach this. Which looks like it is actually going pretty well for the most part. If there's one thing our mutants do well, it is breakthrough. Aircraft, naval, vehicle. We don't need any of this. I don't really need Poseidon electronics. So I guess I'm just sitting on all of that. We could take a Spirit of Division Command. Yeah, let's take Horrors Beyond Comprehension. You're okay, big guy. You're getting out of there. They're trying to fall troops back here. This is really bad. I think he's got a supply at least now, though. Yes! Okay, okay, okay. You go there. Behemoth, stay here. You're going there. You can go here. Those guys are moving there and there. I want... Who thinks that they're here? Control, right click. Control click. Get rid of that division. Get rid of that division, that division. Fix this line. Fix this line. And then...
Now you die.
Make sure that these guys are on here. So many canceled orders. They are going to try to hit this breakout point again. But I think it's okay. I just want him to actually like regain his organization at the moment. Ah.
Now you die.
You go here, here.
Don't look at me.
You guys go here. You guys go here.
Don't look at me.
Keep pushing this in. I want this encirclement. There's so many guys in here. Yes.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
No. Why you grab all of them?
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round
Just stay
them
there.
up
Just
again.
stay there. Just stay there. We're holding against the Warren down there.
So many staring eyes.
You can help the behemoth. You're going to stay here. You can help.
Now you die.
That's an attack. That's an attack. There we go. Now we're finally getting some progress in.
Head voice.
Keep going, babies. Keep going, babies. That's delicious. 6 divisions. That's an entire army at this point in the game. NCR annexes the divide. We also get a bunch of behemoths. The Bane of Man, division attack, planning speed, or monster in the wood, division org. Soldier loss, capture ratio. Let's grab that one. Trolls of the Warren. Ooh. What happened here?
Head voice. Don't look at me.
No. You stay right there, buddy.
What?
I don't know what these guys are doing. Trying to start gobbling back up this territory. These guys are really hunkering in here quite hard.
Got you now.
I am going to grab this guy and I'm going to put him on forced attack. I'm also going to put the behemoth on forced attack. We've got the command points for it. They're doing well just because they have the org for it. You pin those guys so that they don't come in here and reinforce. You are losing that, but only temporarily. I don't know. Well, I guess you are on the attack right now. That's fine. He'll just fall back to the war, and that's okay.
Huh?
Cannot wait for our armies to get a lot less screwed up here. Who are the armies on this that they think there are?
Head voice. That's you.
These two guys.
Don't look at me. Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
Are very confused about where they're meant to be.
Now you die.
All of these guys are meant to be on here. Just pushing in.
Now you die.
Except for, I guess, this one guy who was trying to hold the line, but... At least that's starting to break. I am worried about...
I'll kill you.
Why can't you move? Because you guys are pinned by them? They're potentially going to have a door open into the war in here right now.
Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
So I'm going to try to pin as many of these dweebs as I can right now. As soon as this encirclement breaks, which is almost done, the entire army will be able to start moving back down the other way. There we go.
Huh? So many staring
Front line, front line, front line. Go, go, go. We're doing fine in terms of manpower and everything. Music got hectic, so we know we're going to win. If an encirclement is next to someone else's borders, I'm pretty sure it does count as an actual encirclement. Yeah, as long as they don't have like an alliance with them. So like, even though I had them encircled against Timberline and Bone Dancers, they don't have any agreements with them.
What?
God, our org is struggling at times here. This is a bloodier battle than I would have liked, which is shocking considering how many divisions I've wiped out, but
So many staring eyes.
I can't believe how many of these rounds we're losing here right now, but all right, we got some more dudes. We'll throw them into the main meaty army. And we should actually be training up. Yeah, our woods monsters are training. So we are getting another unit of behemoths. Bonus to production and construction via the scavengers.
Sit up waiting.
Too low to advance. He's at like 90% org and he's still getting penalties saying he's too low to advance. There's dynamite, which is just dynamite. We're gonna grab floaters. I think I'd like to have them. They feel like they would be helpful. Could you move in a broken top, cut off their supply here by taking their city?
You die now.
You could probably just like encircle this little dweeb. Sort of the vibe I'm getting here. All of our roads are so bizarre that we're having to go like back into our own territory and move around. Honestly, I probably would have been best just still splitting these armies into like what, east and west, but I'm a lazy man. Keep building up the Warren with infrastructure and civifax.
I'll kill you.
What are you doing? I want to go there and capture that dude. While the rest of my troops try to figure out a way around.
You will pay. So many
Good, 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 good. He's encircled now. They only have 2 cities, which is making me just think like I'm going to send him straight probably to Bend Rally. And if I could have these guys just help out, take Pass Resort. I'm shocked we're kind of having as much trouble as we are taking it, but bound to happen, I suppose. We're going to turn you off a little bit of that. There is Trolls of the Warren. Oh, I guess we can't get mobile mutation. We'll grab the call of the first. Oh, you should go here, here, and then there. That's what you should do. You should encircle all of those divisions so that they are cut off from supply is what you should do. Hey, I have great news, which is we have enough money to buy bicycles.
Sit up waiting.
Which is going to let our scavengers start scavenging via bicycles.
Huh?
You almost had your encirclement. This is bloody. I'm not fighting this war particularly well. I mean, I don't know. We did get that 6th division encirclement, which was good, but the rest of this has been a bit of a meat grinder. A delicious super mutant meat grinder, that is. Man, the behemoths are so good. You just point them at an objective and they take it. I love it. Imagine watering the plants and a big super mutant just cycle by laughing, ringing the bell. I mean, it does sound like the kind of thing a super mutant would do.
Look at me.
Not gonna lie. It does have super mutant written all over it. Yeah, boys, you don't really need to fight him. We just need to take these cities. Which you're doing a really bad job with. We've got that. You can move in there and then keep going. We're about to take the Pass Resort. There we go. Ooh, slave collars. Internship collars. There's our gobble up. Man, we're growing big already. Huh. How'd that happen? The Western Brotherhood, which was being attacked by these guys, was being attacked by Dan, has now become the Northwestern Brotherhood. But interestingly enough, they are not a brotherhood organization. They are a military collective of people. Huh. They're trying to absorb Coover next. Oh, you know what? I bought bicycles, but because we don't have bicycles technology, we actually can't use them. I forgot all about that. What do we have next? Bone Dancers, Chemalt, Apostles, or Mirelurks. Bone Dancers, Chemalt, Apostles, and Mirelurks. Mirelurks are going to be really, really armored for sure. So until I have some sort of anti-tank rifle, I probably don't want to deal with them. The Bone Dancers seem like they would be a good decision. I know we're kind of a ways off of this right now, but something like that. These guys are also very big, which is why I'm thinking like, oh, this is a threat. That stretches them out a lot, but we'll think about it.
What?
I guess I could do with something like this. That, maybe? Instead? And then at least it feels like it's a bit more of a planned attack. Now, nobody is using dynamite. Nobody is using support equipment. But I think we finally actually have the stuff to make all of this. So, can I give you boys chems? 180, we have 171. Let's do that. That'll keep our manpower up for all super mutant stuff. Though, honestly, we seem to be doing fine with manpower for the most part. I wouldn't think that we would have so much to spare, but... you never know. How's old Canada doing in the four-way war? Strath Commune's getting wrecked. Looks like Pioneer and Lloyd Ministry have pretty much slaughtered them here. They've taken South Redmond. They're about to surround North Redmond. They have a huge encirclement here. I don't know if this is an encirclement. That looks like it might actually still be touching. Not great. Gateways invading the Iron Confederacy. The Duchy of Langdenburg and Kingdom of Manitoba are fighting. Arbog and the Dam are fighting. I don't know a lot about this part of the map yet. MacArthur feels big, but I think he's always big at this point. Lannis has been growing quite a bit over here. But it really ends up being Caesar versus NCR, so We don't gotta panic about that none yet. Surprised I went with Tribal Scout Kit. You know, I probably should have went with Dynamite, anti-tank rifles, and fire team support right away so that I could have just... You know, I don't even know if it's going to work. I guess we can't make... combined arms if we're super mutants. Baja joins the NCR. Okay, interesting. We're already bordering the Northwestern Brotherhood. I don't know how I feel about that. That feels like that could be trouble. Here's a good question, which is where do we have building slots to? And the answer is like not really anywhere. I will let that get fixed up. Nice. There's a second set of behemoths. And we are making more. We get 3 full divisions of behemoths. And we're not far off of a 4th division either. Yes, that's very good for us. I like that very much. Big Sister's not happy in the north. No. No, sir. Something odd that the anti-commie songs tend to be publicly available as opposed to the other songs, which are still DMCA'd. It's a bit confusing for sure. I was shocked in terms of trying to figure out like what was available and what wasn't. What was very surprising was a lot of Fallout songs are actually, some of them were like DMCA free or like they weren't getting copyright flagged, but they were being banned in certain countries. So like Russia and Belarus, I couldn't show my videos in because of the music in them. And I'm sort of curious how that plays out. Like why specific companies are like, no, 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 no. These songs are not allowed. Like Big Iron, for example, was the one that really caught me. And I was like, why is Big Iron by Marty Robbins not allowed in Russia? Like bans your video from being seen in Russia. The Mirelurk tribe has given us a strange offer. One of the Shelled Envoys has asked that they give us some of our land in exchange for harvests worth of mutt fruit. The land they are asking for isn't particularly valuable. Maybe we should consider the offer. Crowlands removes 8 water and the Warren gains 8 water, but Albany is no longer a core of the Troll Warren. And Salem is no longer a core for 16 water. Now that's a curious decision. There is one civilian factory up here in Albany, and there's very little infrastructure. Albany already has 4 water, so I'm actually losing. I'm only getting 4 for that trade. The thing is that there's a focus to go to war with the Mirelurks. We get a claim and a war goal for all their core territories. And then we core them. So, like, I could give them this land and then just take it back later. It would reduce my corridor with the Northwest Brotherhood. I don't really have to worry about Port Ma. They don't actually... There's no land bridge there. Huh. I have a surplus of 27 water right now. I don't really need water. Like, we have a lot of resources. A lot of them seem to be during or just after the Korean War. Lots of MacArthur and McCarthy references. Yes, a lot of them for sure. I do really like the idea of taking all this water, but I guess the flip of it is like, it's removing it from the Mirelurk lands, which I'm going to be taking later anyway. And I'd rather not have them take all this territory and just have to take it back. Versus, like, I could put forts in Salem and Albany and guard those river crossings. So I could just, like, charge a behemoth into Crow lands. I think I'm going to say no, we like this land. I feel like that's just a bad fight for me later if I don't do that. Gonna try this mod someday. You just downloaded it? Nice. I'm excited to hear what you think. It's very enjoyable so far. I like it very kindly. Very muchly. All right, let's drink up this marrow. Get this land cored, so I don't have to worry about occupying all of it. Mutant occupation. Huh. We have different laws. Oh, we core things really easy. Wow. That's good to know. These say that they're humans, but they look like they're mutants. Oh, you know what? They're probably ghouls. I am realizing that's almost definitely what they are. I'm going to start maxing them out so that we can just throw some dogs in there and not have to worry about taking anything over. We're no longer unifying the warbands, so we no longer get to 20 weekly manpower. But we are, like, pretty high up here, at least in terms of politics. Yeah, we're still doing fine here. That would explain why our manpower was doing so crazy good. And actually, I'm starting to think infantry armor 77, infantry 3.4. I could certainly be recruiting more mutants into my armies. So I'm going to keep 2 of these going at all times. That way each army is growing by 1. And we have the behemoths growing at the same time. All right, all that land is cored. Remove Warband without a home, which grants stability -15, damage reduction against Cass. Carcass Walker's attack bonus against this country. Ribbreaker's attack bonus against this country. Marrow Drinker's attack bonus without this country. Base stability, base war support, cores all owned states also cored by the Marrow Drinkers. What is this debuff right now? So we have -15 stability and +20 damage reduction against Cass. And this just removes that effect. I mean, yeah, that does seem valuable. I would really like these civilian workshops as well. And I'm going to do that first. Because civilian workshops are so important to get going. Just so that we can build everything else. Which I feel fine about. Okay. And I think with all of this territory now cored, not cored, What did that do then? Oh, that just gave us 500 manpower. Well, we'll core it after. But I think with all of that kind of handled and done, I think that's this perfect spot for us to leave this episode as we get ready to move in against the Bone Dancers and Chemalt Station next. And then we sort of pull west towards the water, deal with the Apostles and then the Mirelurk tribe once we have some anti-tank rifles. In the meantime, thank you for joining us. I hope we'll see you back here for the next episode.